Coming up, the Disney Magic makes a U-turn back to Miami during a recent sailing. Filming has started for the upcoming Disney pick, Tomorrowland, and SeaWorld responds to the controversy raised by the movie Blackfish. All that coming up. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 661 for the week of November 19th, 2013. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. What are you laughing about?
I'm pulling my T-shirt. It's a little tight on my neck.
Some cleavage.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Forgive the people sitting here. As you may know, at this point, we are, in fact, not coming to you live this week. This is being pre-recorded. It's actually Friday the 15th when we're recording this. That's because many of us are going to be on a fan cruise with our Dreams Unlimited travel agents. So we'll be gone next week. So we wanted to make sure a new show went up. So we're recording something for you today. And we're going to have some news stories, but obviously, you know, we don't have a lot because we just did a show a few days ago. And we're going to take some questions on Facebook and try and make a show out of this.
These shows are always fun.
Teresa was supposed to have a segment ready for
There she
today.
goes under the bus.
Really?
But
My back. You've thrown me under the bus. I'm sorry. I'm a busy gal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm. I just want the people to know that, you know, their disappointment in only getting one show this week is because of you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everyone berate her on her Facebook page. No, I'm kidding.
Do.
No, really. Okay.
Watch me cry tears of whatever. Okay.
Well, you could have come on the cruise with us.
I know. Well, I've got business to deal with, so I know. Okay. I'm going to hold the fort now.
Teresa's a drug lord in her other life. I have business.
I have business. Underworld business. Okay.
All right. So a couple things in housekeeping. Just want to put out some plugs for our Facebook and Twitter accounts. Everybody at the table, everybody on the show, pretty much, except John and Kevin. John and Kevin don't have Facebook accounts, but they are on Twitter. Mm-hmm. But if you go to the show notes page, disunplugged.com, all of our social media.
There's actually a full team page, so it has all of our pictures and our email addresses and our...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Disunplugged.com/team.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Sean did that.
I do work sometimes.
Wow.
You work all the time. You work all the time. There's never a complaint about that. Never complain about that. And speaking of working hard, kudos going out to Craig Williams out in Craig Williams. Sorry,
that's his name.
That is his name. I got it right.
His actual name.
I don't know what my block is with that. That just is so bizarre. It's like I know these two people, but anyway, kudos to Craig out in California right now. Did a live stream last night of a few things, but most notably, World of Color completely changed.
Yeah, it's called World of Color Winter Dreams.
Winter Dreams completely changed for the holidays. And it was breathtaking.
It is.
How phenomenal it was. So great job by the Disneyland team and Craig Williams, who's out there helping him out. And he's getting to spend a nice... I feel sorry for him because he's out there right now until he takes the red eye Saturday night, gets in 5 o'clock Sunday morning, and then has to be on the ship with us Sunday afternoon. So,
wow.
But that's why we let Kylie go out with him and have a nice little thing together.
My biggest question was laundry. How do you pack for that? I mean,
yeah.
I think he's doing laundry in Disneyland and then...
Well, he doesn't do laundry, does he?
No, he just wears the same...
He wears the same clothes over and over.
Yeah.
The cute little boxers.
Wow, you know about his underwear. That was...
What's up?
Cougar.
I'm not going there.
He's always sticking out the back. Ask his mama. She knows. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now
Can I just go home now? I'm done.
So, also, a lot of the videos that Craig is producing while he's out in Disneyland, all the Christmas and holiday videos he's putting up on our YouTube channel. Links to that on our show notes page as well, disunplugged.com. Please subscribe. You'll get notified every time that we put new videos up, which is about every 20 minutes right now. And these guys are working hard, but definitely subscribe and be notified whenever we do anything new comes up. You can also subscribe to us on live stream if you want to be notified when we go live, like last night when Craig went live with World of Color. These things are rarely announced in advance. They kind of happen last minute. You'll usually get an email notification a couple of hours ahead of time. Of course, it's always available on live stream afterwards. You can go and look at it. But if you want to get notified of those live events, follow us on live stream. And
it's really fun to be a part of that live stream when it's actually happening. So yeah, if you do subscribe, check out, look at your emails, and if anything strikes your interest, definitely watch live. Become part of the chat there. It's a lot of fun.
It popped up on my phone too. Like they something's happening.
If you approve push notifications for live stream, you'll get a push notification on your phone, and which I have to do because I'm not getting them. So sometimes he goes live and you guys go live and I have no idea going live. So sometimes I'm surprised as well. But always some really cool videos. That World of Color, Corey, Dustin, and I were watching it last night. And I looked at Corey and I said, "Can you believe this is what we do like regularly now? The way these live broadcasts go out. There was a time we thought we would never in a million years do anything live. Our only experience recording was doing the podcast, and my God, we had to edit the heck out of those some weeks. And so I figured, we could never go live, but now it's commonplace. It was really cool to watch that. It was really cool to see that. Yeah. That was the first live stream we did that I really got excited about seeing it because I love World of Color. It's not in my backyard. I can't get out there. So I kind of got the experience I think our viewers and site visitors get. So it was kind of cool. And a great job. Craig had an amazing spot for it. Josh Gad is in the video. He was there, the voice of the snowman in Frozen.
Yeah, Craig got to actually interview him.
Yes, he did.
Question. I was kind of jealous about that, but
there's a video up there, video up on our YouTube channel with Josh Gad.
I wanted to ask him about Book of Mormon. They probably wouldn't approve that question, but
no, I don't think they would have. But
it was pretty cool.
No, it was. It was a great job. Great job. So, what else do we have in housekeeping?
I have something from Give Kids the World. They had asked me if I would mention they're having a Giving Tuesday challenge. You have Black Friday, you have Cyber Monday, and then that Tuesday is Giving Tuesday challenge. And they want you to, make your donation. They want this to become like an annual event where that Tuesday, which is December the 3rd, that you would make a donation to help Give Kids the World out. So what we'd like to see happen is if you go to our Power of 10 page, you can make a donation, but to make sure that we get credit for that and they get credit for that, if you could put in there like the hashtag Giving Tuesday, then we'll both get credit, and that'll help the Diz and that'll help the kids at Give Kids the World. So
I'll make sure that's on the show notes so you can just copy and paste it. Yeah. That's a good idea. I like the idea of Giving Tuesday. It's pretty smart because that's such a big shopping weekend.
Yeah, and I said, if it gets to be a routine, then you just know,
and that's coming this Tuesday.
After Thanksgiving.
December,
after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, like that whole weekend.
After Cyber Monday.
After Cyber Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
So December the 3rd, and we'll have it up.
All right, we'll definitely make sure we push that, and let's get. They're trying to raise what, 50,000?
50,000. So
I think we should do that. I think just the Diz should raise 50,000 that day.
Right.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. So you people make that happen. Okay. Leaving it on you. So awesome. What else do we have? Anything?
No.
I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be mentioning in housekeeping.
Can I mention a little bit? I got to go to the cast member recognition party last night at Hollywood Studios. And not that I'm surprised, but wow, Disney knows how to throw a party.
Really?
Hollywood Studios was just one giant party. everywhere you went.
And this is something that they do for cast members just to say...
No, actually what it is the service celebration. So whenever you hit a certain milestone in your Disney career, whether it be, I think, 10, 15,
It was
20.
10, 15, and 20
So
last
whenever
night.
you hit that milestone, you get to go to this party. So it's not in between. It's you have to hit one of those milestones, one of those 3.
Okay.
And then they have this huge celebration. It's always mobbed. Traffic is horrible. But I've never been to actually one of the parties, but I would love to go.
Oh, Katie got it for her 10 years?
Yeah, so last night,
awesome.
going into Epcot, the line, it looked like during the Christmas season, how long the line was for people to come in. And Disney had buses that if you were 10 and 15 years, you parked at Epcot and they took you over by bus. But they closed the park. The part that was amazing to me is they closed the park to day guests at 4. So you figure by the time everybody straggles out, that's probably, 5? By 7:30, they had it open for this party. And you know how at Disney they have it every so many feet there's a trash can? Well, that's the way this party was. Every so many feet there was a bar or there was an area for food.
Let me tell you something. Disney Event Services, we work with them quite a bit. We've worked with them on all of our Disneypaloozas. I can tell you they are miracle workers. What they can pull off, it's... we've seen it during press events. Some of the things like, last press event we were at was last December that I was at was for the opening of New Fantasyland. Oh, my God. And everything, all that stuff is available. I mean, you can hire them to, do all that stuff for private parties, and people do all the time. And the food, Disney Catering does a first-rate job. The food is...
The thing I remember the most
out of
is
this
the
world.
Test Track event. It was at night, and that was actually where One Republic was there. They just where they were singing,
right?
And they had these huge ice sculptures of Test Track, like the car and the logo and everything. And they were surrounded by a moat of shrimp, just shrimp. And there was cocktail sauce. There was so much shrimp,
and the shrimp that they had were the biggest shrimp I think I've ever seen. But it was interesting because I was boring Katie because when we did that tour of the warehouse, and they said that they keep a lot of the stuff there for these kind of events. I got to see a lot of the stuff that was in that warehouse at the event. But they did a fireworks show that was about 3 times the size of their normal fireworks show with the nicest little narration about how important the cast members were.
Wow.
And
oh, my God.
You could see the cast members were standing there, It
That's
was just
nice.
it's just nice
That's
to see
nice.
sometimes, Disney gives back, but it was nice to see just how much they gave back.
Look, there's always room to criticize, especially an organization the size of Disney and the number of moving parts it has. It's always, it's easy to criticize. But you look at things like that. Look, a lot of companies, do certain things to recognize their employees at certain milestones. That's not unusual. But this is over the top. I mean, this
was
is
something else.
They could give them a plaque. They could give them,
Well, they do that too. They
Right.
get
I'm
a
saying
plaque,
they could do the plaque and the pin and say, we've recognized you. But when they do stuff like this, that really is cool, and it should be for the cast members that have put in that kind of time, 10, 15, 20 years with Disney. Good for them.
Yeah, I said,
Good for them. They deserve it.
The entertainment, but I thought it was funny when we were leaving. Katie made a point of everybody that we walked past that was working the event. She thanked them for working the event. And the look on the cast members' faces like, you're thanking me for being here? And I know it was like, something special or different for them, but they gave up their time
Exactly.
so that these cast members could go and be recognized for what they
That's
did.
awesome.
So it was just, I have a whole batch of new memories of, being there and
those type of experiences, and we talk about press events and some of the things that we get to do on occasion. Seeing Disney from that different perspective and kind of having that experience very different from what we're used to, it is special. I remember, you were talking about seeing, One Republic. I've seen the B-52s. I've seen Bare Naked Ladies. I've seen, I can't tell you the number of bands I've seen at press events. B-52s stand out for me. I was out of my mind.
Which one was that?
That was the one where they opened Mission Space.
Really?
The B-52s played. Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Fittingly.
Carly Fiorina was there. She was head of HP at that time, and of course Eisner was there. And you had a lot of the Apollo, some of the surviving Apollo astronauts were there, and it was really, really cool. I got to shake hands with Buzz Aldrin. Which, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, but if you're Disney Event Services, they really, and And like we're using them obviously for Disneypalooza. You have to use them if you're going to do something on site. Professional. Look, you pay for it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You pay for it, but you're getting something for your money. You really are. And I've worked other event groups and event services, and I've seen where you really just feel like you're ripped off. And we've had that a couple of times. But when we've done this stuff with Disney, we say, okay, that's a lot of money. But at the end of the event, we say, okay, worth every dime.
Yeah.
Right.
Worth every dime. So, all right, I think we've spent enough time on that. Anything else? But congratulations, Katie. Great job, 10 years with Disney. Good for you. We love you.
I just, on a personal note, tomorrow I get to cross something off on my bucket list that I was invited.
You're having a sex change?
No, I don't think I had that on my list.
Oh,
but,
okay.
It's a NASA social, and there's a rocket launch to Mars on Monday, and they pick people from around the world that get to come, and tomorrow I get a whole bunch of like behind the scenes
Get out.
tours and all that, and then Monday I get to go back, and I've always wanted to see a launch from the Causeway, which is as close as you can get, and we're going to get to see the launch, and we're going to get to meet astronauts, and we're going to get to meet all kind of cool stuff. So for
They're going
somebody,
to let you take pictures?
oh, of course.
So you want to do that as a segment?
Well, probably. I'm taking everything I have to take pictures and do whatever. But for somebody who, lived in Pennsylvania and sat in her basement and watched all this stuff that never thought she was going to get to the Space Center, this is like awesome for me.
That's fantastic. I know you are such a space geek.
Yeah.
I mean, so am I. But you really, you light up about that the same way she lights up about Disney. So that's a huge thing. That's awesome.
So I'll have stuff up on my Facebook page. I'm going to do a blog about it. So you'll be bored, but I'm going to have.
No, I don't think I won't. I'm looking forward to it. That's an amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing opportunity.
I can't wait.
Good for you. Good for you. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right. Our first news story: the Disney Magic cruise ship is back in business after a 6-week dry dock in Spain for a complete remodel. However, it seems the ship may not have been completely ready for guests. The first sailing out of Miami on October 20th was canceled. The ship has been sailing its itinerary as planned since then, but passengers have been complaining about a few issues that have arisen, such as short power outages, plumbing issues, air conditioning problems, and in one of the signature restaurants. On a recent sailing, the Disney Magic left Port Miami Wednesday, November 6th, stopped at Castaway Cay on Thursday as scheduled. On Friday, instead of a day at sea, the ship unexpectedly returned to port in Miami to pick up, quote, critical technical supplies. Reports on the Disboard state that the ship made a U-turn, pulled into port, and stayed for about 90 minutes while supplies were loaded. According to posters on the thread, pallets of orange tanks marked coolant were brought on board, presumably to fix refrigeration and air conditioning problems. Despite the issues, passengers seem to still be enjoying the cruise overall. Many commented on the new decor and said that the food and service have been great. The ship was able to reach Key West on schedule. So what they really lost here was a sea day. And I want to kind of chime in a little bit about the issues with the Magic. I know people are upset, and I think if I was experiencing some of the issues, if I paid to be on that ship and it got canceled, or if I paid to be on that ship and my stateroom was full of dust, we're hearing a lot of that. We're hearing all sorts of things on the boards about areas of the ship and in the staterooms that are in a state of disrepair because they didn't have time to get them finished while they were in dry dock. This was probably the most aggressive rehab. No, not probably. It was the most aggressive rehab Disney Cruise Line has ever done with one of their ships. There's just no question about it. Entire areas of this ship were gutted and redone in 6 weeks. Now, I realize from a customer standpoint, you're saying, I don't care. I paid the same amount, and I expect a clean state. And you're right. And, I know that with the canceled cruise, Disney gave compensation. I don't know what they're doing in terms of some of these complaints about maintenance issues, if they're doing anything to reimburse, to do guest recovery but I personally, and it's easy for me to say, not being one of these people on the ship who paid the money, but I give them a pretty wide berth, no pun intended.
Yeah.
The kind of extraordinary transformation they made to this ship in 6 weeks.
Just from a first-hand experience, so I was on the first sailing after the refurb, and I just want to be honest. We were invited for press, so I'm not a customer paying for the cruise itself. But you had to keep in mind that these changes that they made were so huge and so extraordinary that they're worth small things. We noticed there was some dust, there were a couple baseboards that were funny. There was some carpet things that you noticed, but in the grand scheme of things, the changes were just so incredible.
And, look, anybody who's spent more than 5 minutes watching this show or listening to this show knows I'm not a Disney apologist by any stretch of the imagination. But I do try to be fair. And like I said, this was a significant overhaul.
And I will say that there are people working around the clock on the ship. So it's not like they were just...
No.
There were things that needed to be done, but no one was working on them. They were working constantly.
I can tell you just from the number of Disney cruises I've been on, we're in the 20s now, I think 28, 29 Disney cruises I've done. There is... If something is wrong, it's because they either don't know about it or haven't been able to get to it yet. And I think that's the situation here, is they just haven't been able to get to everything yet. And they're doing everything they can. They lost a week. They lost a week because of weather on the trip. They had expected from the time the ship left port in Europe to come back after the refurb, that transatlantic crossing, they wanted to get a lot of things done. They couldn't because of weather. And that just screwed everything up.
Now, do you think when they go to do the Wonder, I mean, they haven't announced one yet, but do you think they're going to build in some extra time?
I think absolutely you're going to see them take the Wonder offline, probably closer to 2 months, 2.5 months versus 6 weeks. I don't, look, I understand that, or also they may have learned things from this that they can do differently next time. Maybe not rely so heavily on the transatlantic sailing for cleanup or or whatever. But I'm just, again, like I said, it's easy for me to say, not being a paying passenger on the Magic. I don't know how I would feel if I'd forked out $4 grand for a cruise, and there were all these issues, and Disney's just saying to pardon our pixie dust. That wouldn't be. I don't think that would be good enough for me. But right now I just feel like give them some slack. As long as they're taking care of issues. If your cruise is materially affected by these things, then you have a right to demand something from them. Right. But don't be one of those people that, I saw a speck of dust, I want a free cruise. Right. Those people drive me insane, and they're out there in droves, trust me. But, all right, so our next story, Walt Disney Pictures has been filming scenes this week for their upcoming film, Tomorrowland, around Florida, including Walt Disney World. Tuesday, November 12th, the production was in New Smyrna Beach and shut down part of U.S. Highway 1 for about 10 hours. Scenes were also shot Tuesday in Altamont Springs. And on Monday, November 11th, the Carousel of Progress attraction in the Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland was shut down for the day due to filming. Not much is known about the film's plot, though it is rumored to take place in an alternate reality, similar to the theme park's version of the future. The film is scheduled to come out in theaters in May 2015 and is of the science fiction fantasy genre. George Clooney, Hugh Laurie, and Britt Robertson will star. A previously released plot summary says, quote, bound by a shared destiny, a bright, optimistic teen bursting with scientific curiosity and a former boy genius inventor jaded by disillusionment embark on a danger-filled mission to unearth the secrets of an enigmatic place somewhere in time and space that exists in their collective memory as Tomorrowland. Okay.
That is bizarre.
Okay.
No, I think it sounds fantastic. I'm so excited for this.
I think it sounds fun.
First of all, I don't know what any of those words mean. Okay? It's one of those sentences that it sounds really good, but it really doesn't mean anything. I know nothing about this film from reading that.
Which I think is the point, though.
Well, okay, but then just say, we're not telling you. Okay, don't waste that's 11 minutes of my life I'm not getting back talking about that blurb. So,
well, it's Brad Bird, and I trust him. I think it's going to be really good.
Who is it?
Brad Bird.
Oh, right.
The important part of that story is that George Clooney was rumored to be here in Orlando, and if they would have said definitely he was in some place, I would have taken a ride across town just
my.
Wow.
Yep. Stalker.
Yes.
So I saw the photos from Carousel of Progress. I don't think that any of the bigger actors were here for actually.
I don't think he was there.
He was in New Smyrna Beach for sure. They said it on the radio. But I don't even think they filmed inside the attraction. I think it was most kind of exterior because I think a lot of the scenes take place in the 64 World's Fair where Carousel of Progress was.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
First debuted. So there were a lot of like period characters.
So it's going to be a lot of going back and forth to different times.
Possibly,
I think. Yeah.
Well, on the subject of movies, you have some blogs that'll be coming out.
Oh yeah, this was kind of my rapid fire, but we got to see a couple advanced screenings of new Disney movies. So we got to see Frozen, which was very exciting. We have a few blogs coming out.
We have our own Siskel and Ebert.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. And I don't want to give too much away. We have full reviews going up, but I loved them both. I loved both Frozen, and we got to go to a screening of Saving Mr. Banks. So that was really exciting.
So yes, our resident movie experts are going to be.
Yeah, so stay tuned to the blog. I mean, we'll have them all over Facebook and Twitter when they're out.
And you also might start seeing some blogs in coming weeks and months from my nephew.
Yeah,
Carl Warner. He's going to be doing some writing for us on Universal.
It's exciting. Yeah, we're going to start working on it.
And he's also very into movies, so he's real excited about working with you guys on that.
I love this. It's very exciting to go to advanced screenings. Because like Saving Mr. Banks, it's a month and a half out from the release date. So seeing it that early.
And I'll tell you, the reviews that you guys have been doing have been absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Really good reviews. And people are loving them.
Good.
So if you haven't seen any of Sean and Craig's reviews, check them out on the blog. Let's make sure we put a link to some of them up on the show notes page.
You Siskel or Ebert?
When? Because I don't.
When?
Well, okay, that's wrong.
No,
well, not now. One's dead, or they're both dead. They're both dead. Yeah. So early. That's wrong.
I can't believe you went there. I can't believe you went.
What was I supposed to say?
When?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Sean.
I think we're the old men from the Muppets. What are their names?
Okay, all right.
Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah.
Statler and Waldorf, yeah. But
when?
That's funny. All right. And finally in the news, after CNN aired the anti-SeaWorld documentary Blackfish earlier this week, or that was actually a few weeks ago, Michael Scarpuzzi, Vice President of Zoological Operations for SeaWorld San Diego, posted a response on the Inside SeaWorld blog. I'll read parts of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really long. It starts shortly after 1:30 p.m. on February 24th, 2010. A SeaWorld Orlando trainer lost her life in a tragic accident involving one of the park's killer whales. The death of Dawn Brancho was an occasion of almost unbearable sadness for those closest to Dawn, her family, friends, and colleagues at SeaWorld. I was honored to know Dawn and count myself among those SeaWorld team members deeply affected by her loss. Dawn's death has been the subject of thousands of articles, broadcast news stories, blogs, books, and now a feature film called Blackfish. Many of these accounts trade in the details of Dawn's death in graphic detail. They do so not to inform, but rather regrettably because of the desire to sensationalize. The 3 years since Dawn's death have seen the emergence of individuals who have chosen not to honor her memory, but rather use the events of February 24th to advance their own interests. Some seek commercial gain, others seek to forward a political or philosophical agenda. Still others appear to be engaged in self-promotion. And it goes on. It's actually a really well-written, a very considered response to that movie. And I got a chance. The reason I put this in here, because this is actually a few weeks old, the reason I put this in here was because I just got a chance to see Blackfish a few days ago. And, you know, it's extraordinarily sad. It really is. Honestly, at the end of the movie, if you just take everything at face value, it's a brilliantly crafted documentary, and at the end of it, you never want to step foot in SeaWorld again. But kind of having been a fan of SeaWorld for many years, and at least on some level, I think beyond just the normal public paying attention to what they do there, what I know to be true of SeaWorld and what I was seeing in that, and again, I'm not an expert on SeaWorld. I'm just talking about my own personal observations here, but what I know to be true of what I've seen from talking to, knowing people who work there, having done a lot of backstage tours and research on things they do at SeaWorld, especially in terms of their animal rescue and their animal care, their veterinary care. My veterinarian was a veterinarian at SeaWorld for a while. And so, these are the things I've heard and seen over the years. And then I look at this Blackfish documentary, and it's just very different. I mean, they really do try and paint SeaWorld as this craven, irresponsible organization. Yeah. And I'm sorry, that just doesn't sit with me. That's not what I've seen. Look, there is an argument to be made for sure about whether or not these killer whales should ever be kept in captivity. And there is no doubt that there is a lot of corporate spin that comes out of SeaWorld, like would come out of Disney or any other organization in that position. But a lot of corporate spin comes out. And there are things you see in this that really, it's definitely, SeaWorld had to respond to this. At first, when I heard SeaWorld had responded, I'm like, why are they giving this any press? But then after seeing it, they had no choice. They had to respond to it because it is devastating. Yeah. And I encourage people to watch it, but just keep a very open mind. This is definitely a group of people doing this documentary that has a very specific agenda, and they have for a long time. And I think there is an argument to be made that they are using this woman's death as a way to promote that agenda.
Yes.
These people wanted this long before Dawn Branchow died. They wanted this long before Dawn Branchow died. But one of the things this guy says in his response is that he's not trying. He says, "We're not trying to diminish the tragedy of some of these accidents and deaths that have taken place. But please keep in mind, we've had trainers working with these whales for 50 years." And the number of incidents that have happened in that time have been very comparatively small. We're not diminishing what's happened, but you can't paint the entire experience that they've had training killer whales with that one brush. And that's what this documentary does try and do. So I encourage people to make up their own mind, but don't just take this documentary side. Look at the other side of it, too. And a lot of good work goes on at SeaWorld. And the people that work there are incredibly dedicated to these animals and to caring for them. And, the woman who died was one of them. And so it's...
Did you see it while it was aired on TV, or is it in release now?
No, it's in release. I downloaded it off iTunes, I believe.
Okay. I haven't seen it. I'd like to see it.
And it's very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. Some of the stories they tell about how SeaWorld would go and get its killer whales, and some of the things that were done. And it's just SeaWorld bashing from the minute the movie starts to the minute the movie ends. And look, I respect people's opinions, but I really do think to some degree they're using this woman's death as a platform for this. But, interested to see what other people think. So if you've seen it and you want to comment, send an email, podcast@disunplugged.com. If you're not completely insane, I may read it on the show. If you're not completely insane.
I think that's one of those things. The whole SeaWorld controversy is sort of like politics, that everybody brings their thoughts to the table, and it's like you can never solve this to everybody's satisfaction. So, if there is something wrong, they need to fix it. And if there's, maybe some of these people that are so, wound up about it need to move on to another cause.
Well, these are animal rights activists, and they are understandably passionate about and for good reason. Good reason, and a lot. There needs to be animal rights protection.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
And it has to, unfortunately, it has to come from it really has to be a grassroots effort that makes it happen. And usually, I agree with them. On this one, I don't know that I do.
Yeah.
But. So, all right. That will do it for the news. We will move on to rapid fire. Teresa, are you awake, dear?
Yeah. Listen, sad little story. I'm trying to think about Christmas cookies or something because it's really making me too sad. Trying to go to my happy place. Christmas music and cookies.
Well, why don't we spend some time swapping recipes?
We need to.
I've got some good recipes for Thanksgiving. I found, yeah.
I want to do a Unplugged cookie exchange.
We want to do a cookie swap.
Well, what does that mean?
Where you make the number of people that are. This is how we've always done it. That say 5 people are going to participate. You have to make 5 dozen or so of one specialty cookie or several, and then everybody gets your cookie, and then you give them your cookies.
So you leave the party or whatever it is with a huge different range of different types of cookies.
Yeah.
So instead of making a whole bunch of yourself.
So this is not something we do with listeners. This is something we just do among ourselves.
This is this is a personal thing.
All right,
amongst
so
yourselves. Yeah, we're gonna do a cookie.
so we're just letting them listen in. This has nothing to do with them.
No, not unless they want to send us
Send us
cookies.
cookies, yeah.
Oh,
Not
really?
that we'll send them ours, but yes.
Or maybe their favorite recipes.
Yeah, recipes. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll make their. We could make their favorite cookies for our exchange.
Oh, that would be fun.
Have the listeners submit their recipes.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
That does.
That works.
What do you think?
See?
I
It's so
don't
much
usually
happier
bake,
than
but I would do
fish
that.
and
Yeah.
people dying because of giant
See
fish.
now, thanks to me, I try and bring you in. I try and involve you. I'm here for you. I've
Yeah,
got your
what's just
back.
gonna mean
See,
Sonic
they were
cookies?
just all about. They were just all about. We're going to make our own cookies
we
and
were
hell with
just
our
going to get
listeners.
together and eat some cookies and make some cookies.
With
So
just
send
the
us-
four of us at the table, we've turned into the chew.
So send us your recipes. Podcast@disunplugged.com.
We'll try them and we'll eat them.
Yeah.
And if you're not completely insane, we might. If your recipe calls for like arsenic,
What is
Something
the test
funky.
for insanity for listener emails? How do you...
I will judge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I do that. When you read through them, don't you go like, okay, this is kind of crazy. And I move on to the
Sometimes,
next
well, I
one.
mean, sometimes we get some emails that are, let's just say, colorful.
Most of the time, they're just in Chinese.
We do.
I know.
I think it's...
Or it's
Yes.
Anne from St. Cloud.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, she's sad. Is she a real person?
Hi.
We don't know.
We're talking about spam emails. That's what the
Yeah.
Chinese characters and the poor Anne from St. Cloud.
She goes away and then she comes back.
Yeah.
I think
with
she's
a
a real
vengeance.
person.
Do you?
I do.
I do too.
I think she's lonely. I think she
Find
sits at
her.
home, watches The Price is Right, and just says hi.
Okay. She's probably watching right now.
Well, I love her.
Hi,
I'm
Anne.
not saying anything bad about her.
Oh my gosh. I never thought about her as a real
Okay, let's.
She has an Afghan.
Okay,
around her.
So send us your cookie, please. God help me.
Is this what happens on Friday
Maybe
shows?
you should send me the recipes with the arsenic in it. It might be.
I want
it might be a
pictures
good
of the
option.
recipes too. I want pictures of what they're supposed to look like.
Merry Christmas, Teresa. Here's some cookies.
Yeah, really.
'Cause that's it. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
We'll do a cookie swap, and we'll just use recipes from our
I love that.
listeners, and then I will judge whose are the best, and that person will win a prize.
Wow.
So I will not bake. I will actually be the impartial judge.
Oh, so who are the baking
You're
minions?
you're the judge.
You're the
on
baking
high?
minions.
Oh,
Well,
I do like to bake, but
I do like to bake.
Kathy.
I don't like to bake, but I will bake for this.
Okay. Dustin, will you bake?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I'll bake cookies.
Okay. Does
yeah.
anybody want to put money on if Craig will bake?
oh, he will.
He will?
Craig
Oh,
will
yeah.
bake, yeah.
Okay. All right. I know Johnny Kevin will.
I think everyone's in.
I think I hope I'm speaking for them here.
So this has got to go down quick now because the
gotta go-
holidays are coming.
That's right.
I mean, it's happening. This has got to go down quick.
So we got to have the we got to be able to do the final judging on our last show of the year, which is
I think you said the 17th.
17th.
I want to be baking Thanksgiving. I mean, I want to know when I'm baking Thanksgiving weeks.
Yeah.
So snappy.
She's gonna get ready to do a lounge act.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
all right. So we will do rapid fire. We're going to start with Miss Teresa.
Oh, I got a good one.
She got a good one.
I got a good one. All right. Disney Cruise Line has evaluated and adjusted the onboard sales booking offer. For those of you who don't know, when you sail on a Disney cruise, they kind of would like you to rebook your next cruise while you're on the ship. And there are some incentives to do this. You get a 10% off the prevailing rate of the current rate. So if you're on a cruise, you're getting 10% off your cruise, and that is only on the cruise fare. That's not on taxes or gratuities or anything. So it's a little. The way they do it is interesting, but it is just off of that. You also get up to $200 onboard credit per stateroom, and a reduced deposit on sailings 7 nights or longer. Now, the big thing for me that caught my eye on the changes, and I think Kathy agrees on this one, is
I did my happy dance.
I did too. Guests who book on board must complete their travel within 18 months in order to maintain these benefits. Guests who are unable to sail within this time period will have any current onboard booking benefits removed from the reservation. You can modify their sail dates within this 18-month time frame as long as the modifications are done outside of any cancellation periods. So what it means is from the day you sail you have to take your next sailing within a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Now, on existing people that have already booked their onboard, like we have clients that already have an onboard booking from past times. They have until, I think, November 30th of next year to take that sailing. So what it means is you can move your cruise around if you want to change it.
November 30th, 2015.
2015. So you have until 2015 to take that sailing.
Okay, I got a few then I got to take.
You got to take these cruises, yeah, or you'll lose your onboard booking.
Because I think I've got like 3 floaters
Use
right
it
now.
or lose it.
Because some people, and I realize some people, you can't cruise every year. You don't want to cruise
I
every
wish
year.
they'd let me combine them.
You can't do that.
You know, they won't do that.
So,
But I'm me. Can I pull some strings?
can't do it.
Okay.
So this works in our favor.
Hold on. That was a joke. Okay. Just making sure people understand I was not being serious there.
But no, this works because some people keep moving them out and out.
You do
Yeah,
it
that's
dummy
what
day,
I've
and then
done.
you do it forever.
Yeah.
You just keep pushing it
But
back.
I mean,
what I've done.
I get that some people can't afford to cruise every 18 months because I've seen people say, well,
Well,
it
then they
should
need
be
to work harder and get more jobs.
Oh, my.
it should be like 18 months,
Joking.
and it was 19 months, and then it was 25 months. I guess my thing always with this is when you move it for people, the more times Disney can touch your reservation, the more chance there is of
Something's
something
screwing up.
happening.
Yeah.
Happening. And I said it would be nice if it was like this policy brings them into like pretty much what the other cruise line companies do, but some of them you can buy a voucher that's good for I think years. That that would be nice instead of committing to a certain date. Although the last 6 months or so, wouldn't you say, it seems to be December 3rd, 2014.
The first week of December of 2014
was the dummy date for
everybody's
everybody.
rebooking for that date. So now, and when 2015 just opened up, the new cruises just opened up, all of those people are now wanting to move them to 2015. Well, as long as you travel before November 30th of 2015, you're good. I also might say, just as a little plug, when you rebook on board, you can name a travel agent. Mm-hmm. Then you don't have to wait. Don't wait until you get off the ship and say, "Oh, I booked a cruise. Can you take care of it for me?" If you do that, you're not going to get our full shipboard credit, and it's just, to me, it's just a waste of time. Just pick us from the get go, and
You get all sorts of cool stuff. I mean,
do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sailing out of Port Canaveral, you get the incredible gift baskets, gift bags that Dreams Unlimited puts in the room. Now, let me just make sure, for full disclosure, I'm an owner in Dreams Unlimited Travel. So is John. So want to make sure for anybody who may not be familiar that we talk about this stuff and we talk about Dreams. I am talking about something that I have a vested interest in. So just want to make sure we're clear about that.
And also, even if you're not sure if you can cruise, if you got that little bit of money to put that down payment down, go ahead and do it, because
people should also know that they can select either Kathy or Teresa to be their agent. So if you want to bring Teresa's special flavor of crazy into your vacation, that's certainly something you can do. You want to bring some of Kathy's enthusiasm into your vacation, you can do that.
I'm crazy and you're enthusiastic.
Yes. I think that's a fair assessment. Don't you?
Yeah. Crazy in a good way.
Yeah, you're harmless crazy.
Good crazy.
You're not going
Harmless crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to kidnap.
As opposed to a room full of your pictures I throw darts at.
You have, you're not going to kidnap any kids.
No.
I don't think, but
This is getting weird.
okay. So anyway,
And I would
thank you.
just say, just as a practical thing, we've also had people that say that they thought that they booked on board and they didn't have a confirmation number. If you book on board, make sure they give you a confirmation number so that if there's any problems, we can follow up with it.
All righty. Thank you, Teresa. Kathy.
I have. The Tables in Wonderland members can get complimentary valet parking while parking at Downtown Disney through the first of the year. So what you would need to do, it's between 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. daily at entrance 4 on the west side. It's one vehicle per membership card, and you give them your membership card with a valid dining receipt. That's the thing. You have to have dined somewhere at Downtown Disney, and they will...
It's about time they started doing
Yeah.
that. If they want the locals to go over and eat there, especially with Downtown Disney for parking. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you the number of times I thought, maybe go to Downtown Disney, and then I stop and think about the parking.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, never mind. I'll go someplace easier. So I think that's why they have to do this.
Yeah.
Make it so the valet is free. Okay.
Does it matter where you eat? Can I
No,
go eat
just
at the
anywhere.
Earl and?
Yeah, as long
Well,
as
I got
it has
to
to accept
imagine
tables in
it's
one
got to
night.
accept.
Right.
Oh,
It has
okay,
to do
okay,
that.
okay, got it.
And there are blackout dates on using your card at Downtown Disney. So
That's good to know, though.
that's mine.
Thank you, Kathy. Jonathan.
All right, mine's short and sweet. We kind of already talked about it, but we got to see Frozen in advance, so we have a few blogs coming out. One will probably be out by the time this goes up, but we'll have links all over the place so you can see. There's a couple leading up to a full review. So we're going to talk about kind of like the top 5 favorite things in the movie. I want to do one kind of about what you can do in the parks related to the movie, like the meet and greet. They just kind of announced a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique experience for the new princesses. So, yeah, those will be up on the Diz blog.
53rd animated feature.
The 53rd, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Awesome.
And it's fantastic, by the way.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Dustin Thomas.
Yes, I have some details regarding Christmas festivities over at Downtown Disney. First of all, Santa is going to be there yet again. So, what? Okay. Yeah, at the marketplace, you'll find Santa Claus waiting to greet you at his chalet in front of World of Disney store.
You make it sound so sultry.
I don't know what that is.
He's got
like
his
a
little,
ski chalet.
his little
His little,
house,
like,
his little
yeah.
shack.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice inside.
It's nice.
Okay.
Oh, wow. You've been with Santa in the chalet, have
Why,
you?
yes, I have.
Now we know.
So he's going to be appearing, and you can use PhotoPass or take your own pictures, and that's from November 15th and November 28th. It looks like it's on kind of like weekends.
Select days.
Yeah, select
weekends,
days.
Busy times.
29th, November 29th through December 24th, and December 25th through December 29th, and times vary.
Isn't like the 25th to the 29th, like they have Goofy or somebody?
He'll be there after Christmas?
I don't think
Oh
it's
yes,
Santa.
you're right. It is Santa Goofy
After
December
Christmas, he's
25th.
sleeping.
Yeah, that's
done.
Yeah.
Santa Goofy. So, yeah, that's the Santa schedule over at Downtown Disney that just kind of
Awesome.
popped up. So,
Cool.
very good.
Excellent. Thank you, Dustin.
You're welcome.
All right. What I thought we'd do for this show is we posted on our Facebook pages if people had questions, comments, whatever. I thought we'd do a little Facebook to Facebook type of thing. We haven't done that. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And Teresa didn't have a segment, so
Oh my gosh! Please
we had a scramble. We had
cut me a little slack. Come on, you're different to SeaWorld.
Well, I need somebody who can read right now to pull up some questions.
Oh.
Because I can't see this. I can go back to
one
the eye
minute.
doctor.
Does anybody have one?
Just 1 minute.
I have some.
Jeez, what did we all do before we had phones?
Well,
All right, I'll just throw one out.
Yeah.
If you could have any job within the Disney family of companies, what would it be? This is by Amanda Leakins Cantor. I apologize for that last name.
You apologize for her last name.
Well, I apologize for pronouncing it that way.
Any job,
any job.
anywhere in
Disney.
Disney.
Well, I know what I would do. I would definitely want to work at the studios. As you know, if I had a dream
Attractions
job,
host?
Yeah.
No,
Wait
at the
till
Disney
Mermaid.
Studios in Burbank.
Oh, in Burbank. I thought you meant like attraction host.
Really?
No, no.
Like you already did that.
Really?
You already worked Little Mermaid.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, no, as like a film executive or something. There's
Okay.
dream job. You're talking.
What about you, Teresa?
I think I want to answer the phones in the archives. Or just
Pretend to be from the
there-
50s, like Walt
I
Disney?
would. I'd wear. Yeah. I think I'd want to work in the archives.
Accounts payable. Nina speaking. Just a minute.
Yeah, back in the not the room they showed us, but back in the
The vaults.
the vaults back where they keep all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I think it'd be
sure.
fun.
Yeah.
You can. Okay.
All the dusty, musty stuff.
You get your own pair of white gloves so
Yep,
when you
that's
take
where
the
I'd be.
artifact
In a
out.
heartbeat. That's where I'd be.
Yeah.
What about you, Shawnee?
I would work with Imagineering. I don't know in what role. Something creative.
That's was my
Yeah. It's been a dream for a very long time. Yeah. So that,
I don't know that I ever had the dream to work for Imagineering, but if I had a chance to work at anywhere in the Disney family, it would definitely be in Imagineering. I don't know in what capacity. I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm not creative. I am, but it's just not in the same way that Imagineers are. But I don't know. If there was a position for me in Imagineering, that would be cool. What about you?
I want to be the person that when they do these guest surveys, and you know how they always go, due to guest demand, we've taken something away. I'd like to be that person that says, wait a minute, why are we taking it away? Why don't we do this to it?
That person doesn't exist.
I know, but I want that job, you know? Why do they take things away, or why do they change it? I'd like to be in that department to hear why they do that.
Okay. Cool. All right, what else?
Okay, I have one. And this is from Timothy Gamble. It says, how do you feel about Pop Century being the only resort not to offer paper fast passes? This started yesterday. That now you just get your Magic Band and you can't double dip.
Yeah. My opinion on this is it's kind of like really oversimplifying the issue. You can ask for the key to the world cards when you check in. They don't give them to you automatically, but you can always ask for them if you want them. They can't force you to wear a Magic Band.
No.
So I think people are kind of overreacting about this. You can always get your cards no problem, and then you can double dip if you want. So
somebody though on the Diz is saying that you're not getting the same key to the world card. It's a different kind of a card.
It only has a room thing. A room thing. It only has a.
It doesn't have ticket media on it.
How is that possible though? Because they can't force you to use a Magic Band. That's my understanding, right? So
that was the promise they made
exactly
in the beginning.
How can they?
You know, we'd be able to keep our health care if we liked it. And you know, we're wondering now if we're going to find out that. In fact, no, we are going to have to wear Magic Bands.
I don't believe that's true right now. I think that if you want to, you don't have to use the Magic Band. You can request a key to the world card, which will have the tickets that you have on it, the room key that will open your door, just like a normal reservation.
Do you think if they don't offer the the regular option away from Magic Band that Congress will shut down the government?
No comment.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
But say you don't know that you have an option. I guess if you don't know that you have an option, then I guess you really don't care. The reason why everybody wants the key to the world card is so that you can double dip on the fast passes.
Sure.
So they're saying that now this is not fair to anybody staying at Pop Century, that they can't participate in things that everybody else that comes to Disney can.
Well, here's the thing. Disney's official stance on the issue is you're not supposed to use both things.
Right.
So this is just Disney's way of enforcing what they're saying.
But they're only enforcing it on one resort right now.
But next week there'll be 3 more, then continually until the end of the year where everyone's this way.
But I think it's funny, too, that now they're saying instead of they're testing and adjusting.
I've been hearing that for...
Really? Because it seems like just lately, it seems like they're mentioning and adjusting.
A year and a half ago, we heard that in a meeting, and it was...
Okay.
She said it 1,000 times in the meeting. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think people are overreacting. I think that if you really want the keys, you can get them. Disney doesn't want you to double dip fast passes anyway, so this is just
That's the only reason, you think, is the fast pass thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to wear a sweaty band on my arm in the heat of the summer.
I think there are those people with those reasons, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of people are changing their resorts because of this, and they're coming in a week or so, and they're changing to different resorts. I think
that's
might
sad.
be a little, yeah.
I'm sorry, people that are doing that, but I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
All right, on what? Oh, okay. On my Facebook page, Sean McNamara wants to know if I think they're going to reimagine the Wonder the way they did the Magic. Oh, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a question of if; it's a question of when.
Right.
I imagine in the next year or two. They're gonna do something.
And will they take more than 6 weeks to do it?
Well, that's what we were saying before. That I think they will, or maybe they learn things. But yeah, absolutely. I think you can count on the Wonder undergoing a transformation the way the Magic did.
Okay. Along with that, then they've only released the first quarter of 2015. Do you think it's because they're still trying to figure out if they're going to how long of a refurb? What's holding Disney back from releasing all of 2015?
Just enjoy the slow release.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to wait for the Wave January to release the Med cruises, the Alaska cruises.
Wow!
All that stuff. We're hearing a Baltic is going to be back on the table in 2015. As well as the Med, so and of course Alaska So I think they're waiting for January, which is, prime buying season. That's when a lot of people book their travel for the year, January, February. In the travel industry, we call it the wave. And those are very big months for travel sales, January and February. And so a lot of travel companies, hold on to certain things and release them in January. I think Disney's done that in the past. They may be doing it this time.
It was nice, actually, yesterday, since it was or Wednesday, right, was when the first batch. It was nice. There wasn't that huge frenzy that there usually is when they release more, that I thought Disney maybe had a kinder, softer side. That
I liked it, that it was just because it made it more manageable as an agent. It wasn't like freaking, what are we going to do? It was nice. I have a question from zany Chris Wallers. We all love Chris.
Hey, Chris.
If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which one would you be? And then I'm going to add to that, and why?
Why?
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
Pete?
Can you pick normal questions?
What? I thought that was a good one.
I don't know what kind of animal I would be.
Okay, Teresa, what would you be?
Cougar, of course.
I'd be a cougar. I'd be up there stalking. Okay, let's ask another one then. That's not so zany then. No one wants to answer that one. Okay.
I have one, and I think Pete's the only one that can answer it, actually. What was the menu and quality of the food at the Odyssey restaurant in Epcot? I've never been there.
I have never eaten at the Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Nope.
So was it just a typical restaurant? You would go in and...
I think it was a buffet.
Was it a buffet?
I think. I don't,
It's before my time.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, it's either
wasn't sure.
it's either at the beginning of my time or right before I started coming.
Does anybody know why they painted it blue? It looks so silly now. It used to be that kind of brownish red that fit in with all the other, paint schemes at Epcot.
I don't know.
Now it's blue.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't eaten there. So
All right, I got a good one.
okay.
This is from Heather Crowley Jones. Pick 2 World Showcase pavilions to get rid of and 2 new pavilions to replace them.
Okay. I would get rid of. I would probably get rid of Morocco.
Oh.
It's my least favorite. It's not for any other reason than
You don't spend time there.
Nothing appeals to me there. It just doesn't appeal to me. So I would get rid of Morocco, and I would probably get rid of.
You're gonna hurt someone's feelings.
No, so yeah, I know it's a no-win. It's a no-win answer.
Yeah.
I would probably get rid of either Germany or Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, Germany probably first.
No.
It's heartbreaking.
I'm sorry.
My answer is cheating, actually. I'd get rid of the African Trading Post.
Yes.
And then
No,
that's cheating. I'd put in Greece.
Cheating.
Greece would be fantastic.
I was thinking that exact same thing. If I had to put something in, I would put in Greece. You think about great cultures of the world, and you come to some of these countries that they already have represented in World Showcase, and one that you really think about as missing is Greece.
Australia.
Yes,
Australia. I mean, I would definitely, Australia would be really cool.
Problem then you get into is, even though they are diverse cultures, it's already lacking. World Showcase is already lacking from, South America is not even represented. Africa is barely represented, and of course, Australia is not represented at all. I wish it was a more broad spectrum.
Okay, Africa has its own theme park, so I think it's good in the representation department.
I wouldn't get rid of pavilions, but I think I would tweak them more. Like okay, Norway, I would expand that and just be the Scandinavians and add some Sweden in there and
put an IKEA in there.
Yeah, and just different. And the same with. I mean, I'd like to see Russia. Some countries you never talk about. Some.
I don't want.
No, I mean not necessarily Russia, but just something more off the map, more off the beaten.
No. Well,
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, Kazakhstan. Yeah,
Kyrgyzstan.
Give me some Mongolia. I don't know, just something fun. But
Western Mongolia.
I wouldn't take away anything. I'd just make it bigger. That would be my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the happy, lovey answer?
It's a beauty queen answer.
yeah, really.
I have one here.
Okay.
It's what do you think will? This is from Justine. What do you think will actually be coming to or leaving Disney World in the next 5 years? Do you think Cars Land is still on the table? Will they actually discontinue Osborne Lights to put Star Wars Land?
Okay, I just want to make a few things clear about Cars Land. We know for a fact there were plans drawn up that it had been
seriously considered.
It had been, yeah. I mean, they were moving forward with it. So, is Cars Land going to happen? I think the decision to purchase Lucasfilm changed everything.
And that kind of got put on the back burner.
And it got. I think that now it's all Star Wars all the time. I think they feel that they can anchor or build up Hollywood studios using the Star Wars franchise better than they could if they just brought Cars Land out here. So I don't know. I don't know. Right now it doesn't look good. Right now it does not look good.
You know, honestly, I love Cars Land out in California, but the thought of if I had to choose between a Star Wars portion of that theme park and Cars Land, Star Wars excites me more, to be quite honest.
Well, I like the idea that it would be unique to here rather than just having what Disneyland has.
Right. I hear you. I'd love to have a Cars Land here, but I also feel that, too, that it's nice that I can only go out there. Mm-hmm. That was what was nice about watching World of Color last night with that live stream. It's not something I can see all the time.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I love Disneyland so much is because it's a place I don't live 20 minutes away from. And
it's a vacation.
I have to, going out there, I can only see those things, so it makes them a little more special, I think.
Well, speaking of World of Color and what's to come, I mean, of course, there's always talks about a nighttime show, Disney's Animal Kingdom, Avatar Land, all that kind of stuff. I'd love to see anything in Animal Kingdom have a nighttime show. If it's anywhere near World of Color, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I would love to continue this conversation longer. I actually really would, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in a significant amount of pain today with my neck and my back, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with you again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everybody, and remember, stay out of the damn lakes, please.